Hello crafty friends, welcome to my channel Pretty Pink Craft Room. For today's crafty session, I have been sitting at my desk and trying to figure out ways in which to use these journaling cards. They are 3x4 journaling cards, and as you can see, this is a pretty old paper pack from Primo Marketing. I'm not sure what the name of the paper pack is. I'm pretty sure it is completely out of circulation. It is that old. So I have had this in my stash for a long period of time. And I have been trying to figure out, okay, what are some new ways in which I can use these? Because yeah, you can certainly just, put them down on a page, add some decoration, things like that. But I was trying to figure out ways in which I could use them in a different manner than what I would normally use them. So I sat down and I came up with about 6 different ways. And you may have seen these ways before. They may not be anything new to you, but it was certainly exciting for me to come up with them. Something new that I hadn't done before in how to use these specific cards. So if you have a stash of these journaling cards in your stock, I hope you will stick around and see these ways that you can use them. Or you can cut down regular paper to 3x4. They're all just 3x4 journaling cards, and you can certainly use those sheets, in the same projects that I'm going to show you right now. So let's get into it. Let me show you the ones I have come up with. For the first one is a very simple frame for a photo. So the top layer of the frame is opened at the bottom. Very simple. Add some acetate, add some decoration. I added some lace, some of the ephemera, and it's a very easy photo mat that you can insert a picture in and out of. So that one's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. And after I go through these, I'll certainly spend a little time and we'll do a quick tutorial to see if you'd like to make one for yourself. So that's the first one. The second one is a hidden journaling spot. So I just use the journaling cards to create this little insert here that you can add some coffee dyed paper here. You can wrap around some paper, and that can be your hidden journaling spot. And it can go securely inside this pocket like so. And I just added a tag here for decoration, but the pocket has enough space in it that it allows for that too. So that's pretty cool, a hidden journaling spot. The third one is a gatefold. And so I just decorated the front, but it is sealed up with a Velcro dot. And then when you open it like a gatefold, here is your journaling spot. And then there's a pocket for a tag here. So all of this was created. The base of this was all created with those 3x4 journaling cards. So it's just a simple gatefold. So that's 3. The fourth one is to use the journaling cards as a background for a larger journaling card. So I cut down the journaling cards to 1x1 squares and made them as a background for this larger journaling card. And then on the back is the space here. You can use some coffee dye paper on the back here for journaling. And I just embellished the front of it and added some of the ephemera that came as a complement to the paper pack. So that's another idea. The next idea is a waterfall, but a different kind of waterfall because it staggers and it's not all one straight line. So it's kind of creates steps. So I used the journaling cards to create the 3 steps here. There's a pocket up top, and then this tag is inside. And then there's a pocket on the side here for more journaling. However, when this is glued down to a journaling page, it actually can create 5 pockets. So you have a pocket in the back here. If you glue it down just as an L on the back here, you'll have a pocket on the back here, a pocket here. You'll have a pocket inside here. That's the third pocket. You have a pocket inside here. the fourth pocket, and then you'll have a fifth pocket here. So there's, and I hope I was all in frame when I did that. So again, there's a pocket in the back, a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket on the side. So, and that's just a pretty cool design like that. And you can use your journaling cards to create that. The last one I created was kind of a zigzag design, where I wanted to make it so that the tags inside the pockets were going in all different directions. So there's a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket here. And so you pull out tags from all different directions. And again, you could lay this down on a journaling page as an insert, and you'd have all of these areas where you would be pulling out pockets. I'm sorry, pulling out journaling spots. So it's 4 different journaling spots that you would be able to pull out from once you glue this down to a journaling page. So those are the different ideas that I came up with for using these journaling cards. If you are interested in learning how to make any of these, I hope you will stick around and craft with me. So I have this stack of 3x4 cards that I have left over from the project, from the paper pack that I used. I think this was about maybe 2 years ago, 2 falls ago. And this is all I have left over, you guys. I don't have any full sheets left from this paper pack. All I have are these journaling cards. And yes, like I mentioned, you can certainly use these as for frames, for pictures. But since I have no large sheets left to create an album with it, I needed to find a way to use these journaling cards. So that's what we're going to do with today's project. So I'm going to take the first 2 and do that first project where we created the frame for the picture with the acetate. So in order to do that, I'm just going to cut at 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Now you could certainly measure this with your ruler 1/4 around and do some hand cutting, but I want to use this cutting board because it allows me to sink my blade and cut not all the way through to the top of the paper, but I can stop at 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And so that's what I'm just going to do here. And by the way, I did ink my edges on this one. That is of course optional because these cards are more of an autumn theme. I wanted to go ahead and ink the edges, and I used the brushed corduroy Distress Oxide to ink them, just in case you were interested in that. Okay. Hopefully I cut it all off. Yes. Okay, so I'm left with this frame, and I'm certainly going to keep this because this can be used for decorating, but I want to go ahead and ink the inside as well. Oops. Flew right out of my hand. Okay. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So let me put my cutting board to the side. And I have a piece of acetate that I'm going to use. And this acetate is just a little bit smaller than 3x4. So it's not to the edge of the paper of the frame. It's just shy of that, maybe 1/16 of an inch away from it. But I'm just going to add this on, and normally I would use some tape, but I'm just going to try to be really light handed with this glue so that it doesn't, you know, spread when I put the acetate down. Just trying to be very light with it, because I don't want the glue to actually get in the acetate, and then to get into the part where the framing is of the picture. So that's where I'm trying to keep it away from. Okay, so hopefully that is pretty good there. Okay, so now we have the acetate. So I'm going to bring in the other piece the other journaling card, and all I'm going to do is attach this on here, but I'm only going to attach right up here at the top so that this frame can easily lift up and a picture can easily be added. You can certainly close it up if you choose, but I thought it would be really nice to just add it on. And you know what? I just did that upside down. Oh my word. Okay, let's get that glue off of there. I'm looking at it and I completely just did it upside down. That's so crazy. Okay. Glad I had a little bit of time to readjust. Okay. So now we're right side up. And now that you have the picture frame, you can certainly decorate it, add some embellishments on it, and still, you know, have the room here for it to be lifted to add the picture. So that is our first way of using our journaling card. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is our hidden journaling spot, where you would pull this out and you'd be able to add some journaling or even add some paper there where you could journal. So to do that, I needed 3 journaling cards. The front, and I've done some pre-cutting so that the video would move a little faster. For the front card, I cut 1/4 of an inch on both sides and at the bottom. So here, here, and here, 1/4 of an inch I cut off. For the back, which will serve as the back of my pocket, I've scored at 1/4 of an inch on 3 sides. So I'm just going to go ahead and crease these down. I've scored and I've mitered those edges. Or I mitered those corners, I should say, so that it can create a pocket for me. And let me just ink this a little bit. And all we're going to do is attach it like so. So let me add some glue. Just trying to make sure I have it all even all the way around. Okay, great. Increase that down, let that glue adhere. And it doesn't seem like I've added enough glue because it wants to come up. So let me do that a little bit more so that everything stays where it should be. Don't want things coming apart after you finish them, right? Wow, did I not add glue at all? Or is this really just coming back up again? Okay. Aren't these foxes so cute? I thought they were so cute. Okay. There we go. So now we have this pocket up front. So, our pocket up top. So this sheet is the sheet I will use as my insert. So what I did is I came down 5/8 of an inch and made a little score or a little pencil mark for myself. I am going to cut off 3/8 of an inch on each side of this. So I'm going to go and cut 3/8 of an inch only up to that pencil mark, and 3/8 of an inch on this side only up to the pencil mark. So let me get my cutter out. And I can see my pencil mark, so I will only cut up to that pencil mark. Or I think I can see it. I hope I can see it. Okay. And then 3/8 on this side. Okay, perfect. So you have this here, and all you're going to do is cut this off as a straight line all the way up to the pencil mark. And it should create a little T, just like that. So now you have a little T insert there, and I'm just going to ink those edges too. and that should easily insert inside your pocket like so. And now you have this little hidden journaling spot that you can use as well. And like I said, adding some coffee dyed paper on the back of here or even on the front, however you like, that would make it really a nice journaling area there as well. And the pocket is deep enough or wide enough to give you that extra space as well. So that is our example number 2. Let's go to number 3. For the next idea, I have 3 more journaling cards, and I have flipped them over on the back side, on the reverse, and I'm just going to glue them to overlap at about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to apply a thin bead of glue here, and I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not going to try to measure it for perfection. I'm just going to go ahead and line them up. And as you can see, I mistakenly rounded the corner on this end, but that is okay. We will work with that. It is perfectly fine. So these are, they were glued together. I didn't give the glue enough time. I don't know what it is with this paper. Maybe because it's old, it's not holding the glue very well. Or it could be me just trying to rush and not giving it enough time to adhere to everything. So let me try to slow it down a little bit and just give the time that it needs. Okay. So these 2 have been glued down. So then what you will do is to create your gatefold, you're going to score 1 of them at 1 3/8 of an inch all the way down. 1 3/8. So after you've glued them together, you're going to score 1 at 1 3/8. Then I'm going to flip it over and score the other side at 1 1/2. 1 1/2. So again, I'm scoring at 1 3/8. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to score at 1 1/2. And that should have overlapped even more. Let's see, what did I do wrong here? Okay. So this should have been scored at 1 1/2 as well. So let's do that. That's better. I don't know why I did it on different measurements for them. I don't know what possessed me to do that, but I did. And at least I kept the mistake in the video. You guys know I don't normally do that. If I make a mistake, I try to edit it out. But I actually kept it in so that you would see. Okay, so let me go over it again. I attached these 2 journaling cards about 1/8 of an inch together. Then I scored them each at 1 1/2 and then flipped it over and scored at 1 1/2, and that created my gatefold. So for the inside, I have this little sheet here that I'm going to use, and actually I think that's a bit too small, so I think I'm going to get a bigger piece and to cover, because I like more of this to be covered up. So one moment, let me get a bigger piece. Okay, so I got another sheet here, and this one actually measures 2 7/8 by 3 7/8, and I'm going to attach this here. First thing I'm going to do is notch it so that it is clear that it is a pocket. Let me ink that. And then I will attach it here and just add glue on 3 sides so that it becomes a pocket. And that goes down like so. So now you have the gatefold here, and then it opens, and then there's a pocket here. I'm just trying to let this glue adhere because it just doesn't want to seem to stay down for me. So I'm trying to give it time to do that. And to close this, I used a Velcro dot. I did a tag across the side, across the middle, and I did a Velcro dot, but you can also do, you know, the string where you can tie it down like that. There's options there for you to do that as well. So that is our gatefold example. I apologize, my phone was not recording, so let me go over it again. This is the next one we're going to do. It is the waterfall with the staggered steps here with our journaling card. So we're going to go ahead and create that look with more journaling cards. So I have 5 journaling cards here. 2 are pockets, 1 is not. What I did for this one is I created the pocket when I thought my phone was recording. It was not. And I didn't even score the sides to create a dimensional pocket. It's just a flat pocket. I just glued it on top of each other. The only thing I did different is I didn't line it up evenly. To create the pocket, I came down, let me see, I came down 5/8 of an inch, and then I glued it on top of each other. So I just wanted this to stick up a little bit more. I didn't want it to be flat. So that's why I just came down a little bit, and then I glued it down on the 3 sides, and it created the pocket like so. So that's the part that wasn't filmed, and I apologize for that. For the next one, I'm going to take the card and I'm going to come down about 1/2 of an inch, and I'm going to have a 3/4 of an inch overhang. So let me go ahead and make sure I have it lined up right. So that is 1/2 of an inch, and this is 3/4 of an inch overhang. So that's how I want it to line up like that. So to do that, I am going to only add glue on here and here. So here and here is the only places that I'm going to add the glue. So I'm going to try to hold it down and use my board to keep me even, and then add the glue. Because I could just, you know, make the mark and that would make it easier. I wouldn't have to hold it down. I could just make a pencil mark. That probably would have been easier, but and let's see. Okay, yeah. So now this is an opening here. And let me add just a little bit more glue. So again, I just came down 1/2 of an inch, and I gave a 3/4 of an inch overhang on this side. 1/2 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch overhang, and then I just apply glue on this side and then at the bottom of this particular journaling card, because this one is overhanging, so I don't want to do that. So for the next 2, this is going to be a pocket, but I want it to be a side loading pocket, so I did a notch here. I've already inked my edges, so I'm just going to attach these 2 together by applying glue on 3 sides. This side doesn't look like it was rounded very well. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. So then let's go ahead and add this on here. Line it up. And I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to come down 1/2 of an inch and give myself a 3/4 of an inch overhang. So let me just, that is 1/2 of an inch, and a little bit more for the 3/4 of an inch. And for this one, I'll just go ahead and pencil mark it so I know what I'm doing. So I just made a mark for myself so that I know where to apply the glue here, and I'm just applying a thin bead of glue on that side where the pencil mark is, and down at the bottom, the seal of the pocket. Now I can put this back on. Perfect. So now you have a pocket here. And again, if you glue this down into a journal, you'll have a pocket there, you'll have a pocket here, you'll have a pocket here, and you'll have a pocket at the back. And that is our staggered waterfall pockets using our journaling cards. So that's our next idea completed. Let's move on to the next. The next one we will do is the zigzag design, where there's 4 pockets. Each have an opening in a different direction so that tags or journaling cards can be pulled out from each direction, and that can be laid onto a journaling page as well. So let's go ahead and do that. I have done some pre-cutting and pre-assembling of the pockets just to make the video go a little faster. So I've done 4 pockets, each with the notches going in different directions. So this one goes to the top, this one goes to the left side, this one goes to the right side, and this one goes to the bottom. So all that needs to do is I just need to assemble it by aligning them on top of each other the way that, you know, I want them to look. And I don't have any rhyme or reason to how I do it, and I didn't really measure it, but I can kind of put it together and maybe give a little bit of measurements in case you want to make something similar. So I think I'm going to make it look like that. So for the top one, I came down, let's see here, 3/4 of an inch, and then from the side also 3/4 of an inch. So let me move this out the way. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply glue as an L. I'm going to apply it here and here just to go ahead and assemble that down. So then I'll put this one back, and it should be about 3/4 and about 3/4 from there as well. Okay. Okay, so now we have the top and we have the side here, the left side. So let's do the right side next, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it here. And for measurement wise, that is 1/2 of an inch from the top and over 1.5. So, and for that, again, I'm just going to apply glue going down as an L to create that pocket. You know what, let me go ahead and make a little pencil mark here because I will not remember what I'm supposed to do. Okay, there we go. And actually, I need to know where to stop with the glue too. So let me make another pencil mark. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add glue here and go over like so. And make sure I have everything directionally correct. And apply this down. Make sure it's straight and even. Okay, perfect. So let me crease this down, making sure this glue is going down right. Okay, so now we have those done. So now my last pocket, which is having the opening at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and line that one up, and I think I'm going to come over about 1/2 of an inch. Yeah, 1/2 of an inch and 1/2 of an inch from the top. Yeah, 1/2 of an inch from the top there too. Okay, so then I will apply glue here and all the way across here. So I need to make a mark for myself of where to stop with that glue and where to start. Stop and start. Okay, so I'm going to apply glue going down like so, and then right at the bottom, stopping where I made that pencil mark at. Make sure everything is directional. Make sure I'm straight. Okay, perfect. And that is our zigzag. That's our zigzag pocket. So you have 4 pockets. You have one here, one here, one here, and one there. And that can go onto a journal page and create a lot of pockets for you out of these journaling cards. Okay, perfect. I'm happy with how that one came out. I really love the contrast and the designs there, so that's really good. For our last idea, we had where we would cut out 1 by 1 inch squares and create a background on a larger journaling card. So that is what we did previously. So for this time, I started off, and I've done most of it so that you wouldn't have to watch me doing this on camera, but I left the bottom row so that we could do that together. So I'm just going to take these little 1 by 1 inch squares and I'm just eyeballing it. I'm not measuring anything, so it's not perfectly even, but it does still look pretty nice. And I'm just going to try to line these up and make them as even as I can. I want that one to go there, this one here, and this one here, I think. Okay. So yeah, these are just little tiles and just can give a different kind of a background to a larger journaling card. So just something a little bit different that will look really nice in a as a page on a journaling page would look really nice on there. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we cut 15 squares, and actually, you guys, I ran out of journaling cards. There were no more left. So I had a scrap of a 6x6 paper, and I cut that down to those 15 squares, and then I mounted it on some brown paper that was in my stock. So now I'm just going to mount that on some white cardstock. And give it even more matting. And I may have to trim a little bit because I think I may have cut the white sheet a bit too big. So yeah, I'm going to trim a little bit off of here as well. So I've trimmed off a little bit of that white. I inked edges on that, and so that one is complete and now ready to be decorated. So let's just bring in all the ones that we've done. So we've done this one with the tiles as the background for a larger journaling card. That's ready for decorating. This one's ready for inserts and decorating. This was our zigzag design. This one was our waterfall design, and there's pockets here and here that are ready for decorating as well. This one was our gatefold, and we'll need to add a closure here, and then we have an inside pocket here to add another tag there. So that one's done. And then we had our hidden journaling spot where we can add something there. And then lastly, we had our little acetate window picture frame. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6. Yes, we did. We covered all 6 of our options of what we could do with our 3x4 journaling cards. So I hope this has helped you the way it has helped me. I am glad I have completely demolished that paper pack, and I am now ready to go ahead and start decorating and to use these up as well. They would be perfect in a fall journal that I could create for the fall season that's coming up, but I'm just overall happy that that paper is not just sitting to the side, it's actually been used. So thank you guys so much for joining me on my channel today. I greatly appreciate you guys taking the time. This has been really awesome, a nice little thing that I was able to accomplish, and I'm really happy that I was able to bust through some leftover papers that were just hanging around. So this has been great. So Until next time, I look forward to crafting with you all very soon in the near future. And I am so thankful for you guys sticking with me throughout this tutorial. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye.